You know, a lot has changed at my local Dave & Buster's since I got my first Roomba from there. Long gone are the days of electronic foot massagers being the highest ticket value prize. Guess I gotta start farming tickets here. Look, there's real prizes. We got gamer paraphernalia, current gen game consoles, Oculus, AirPods, oh god no. Over here we got Bluetooth speakers, an air fryer. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready to get hurt again. This one does look a lot more legitimate. I mean, just compare the ticket values. Well, you read the title. Let's give the vacuum offerings of Dave & Buster's a second chance. So here's the iRobot Roomba Combo Essential. Let's take the diaper off this thing. Believe it or not, I am not an expert on Roombas, but I do understand this is one of many models to choose from with this brand. In hindsight, a lot of the issues with my first Roomba felt pretty obvious, so let's do a quick recap. This is a follow-up video. I'd consider checking out my first vacuum foray if you haven't already. Or don't. I'm not a cop. First off, thank you to everyone who commented on that video. I learned an awful lot from the people who have had experiences with Brookstone products. I had never even heard of this brand before acquiring that dirt pusher. As it turns out, this Roomba is essentially a repackaged AliExpress kind of product. Yeah, this was 100% my fault. I didn't do my homework as an informed consumer and research this product. Had I read or watched any reviews online, I probably wouldn't have redeemed this prize. I also lost the receipt, so this time I obviously made sure to hold on to it. This was redeemed at a time when my nearest Dave & Buster's was an absolute desert. The only high-ticket prizes being an electronic foot massager and this piece of e-waste. I don't really farm tickets at this arcade, and many of you guys have been asking why not. It's a fair question, so let me address it quickly. For starters, the closest Dave & Buster's locations are way too far and way too expensive for me. I would have to drive 2 hours to spend more to farm tickets instead of going to my local arcades. Despite the half-price Wednesdays, which I can rarely take advantage of, I still live in the costliest region according to this pricing chart a Redditor made recently. The other main issue is the games. The important ticket makers of this arcade, most of them I have skill issues with. Even when I learn these crucial options, they barely work. After playing the hit game Basketball Pro by Andamiro, it was apparent something was wrong. Maybe 1 out of 10 of all my balls were being counted by the net. After I complained for a credit refund, a technician eventually showed up to validate the issue. The guy said something to the tune of, well yeah, it's a common defect with this game. So they gave me a refund for it, but they continued to leave it on, probably to hustle the casuals who are too shy to speak up, or don't know any better on how the game is supposed to behave. Just because I don't farm here doesn't mean you shouldn't. Your situation is probably different from mine, and I'm sure you can decide for yourself. That said, recently I have been able to come in a bit more frequently. Sometimes this is the only location that has a game I want to cover, but seeing real prizes has really helped motivate me to come in more. The lack of prizes would have been my main complaint before they actually restocked the prize room. But going back to the Roomba, I absolutely loved reading the comments on that first video. Thank you to everyone who bothered to chime in. A lot of you were asking why I or anyone else would choose this prize. Honestly, the marketing of the Brookstone Dirt Pusher was a pretty big factor in me redeeming it. Nothing is more tantalizing at an arcade than a fancy paper box inside a fancy glass box. It could be anything in there. I'd rather spend my tickets on that instead of buying out their basket of rubber chickens. Even now, when you see it beside useful items like Ring doorbells or AirPods, it blends in as another high-quality item for your home and lifestyle. So enough about my bad decisions. Let's see the value of not learning from our mistakes. Quick disclaimer, this is just my experience with these products. I'm not sponsored by any Roomba manufacturers at this time. The packaging isn't trying that hard to sell you on a laundry list of features. The box just keeps reminding you it has a robot vacuum in here. Believe it or not, I have tried this thing out and it is in fact noticeably better than the Dirt Pusher. Picks up small stuff, big stuff, and even wet stuff. Not much to say, no one really needs to hear about how product is okay at what it says on the box. The neat thing about it is that it maps out my floor plan. Sorta. There's this bumper that tells the robo-butler when it runs into something. I'm guessing that's how it sees. It explains part of the knockoff's design. It has an imitation bumper that does nothing. I then tried to have it map out my basement, but I think it ended up gerrymandering instead. The mapping also missed a bedroom, and some of these rooms just don't exist. Now, that's great and all, but I'm sure you're all wondering the same thing. How pet-friendly is it? Same here, and after failing to find anything definitive on their website or manual, I had to outsource to some researchers. Please welcome back Garfield and the Void. Thanks to my associates and a total of half an hour of testing, the Roomba doesn't seem to be horribly dangerous. Have this thing pet sit for you at your own risk. Overall, this thing does a decent job cleaning, but it's not perfect. Certainly doesn't replace cleaning by hand, but good enough that I'd be curious about other models. You're watching an arcade-focused channel slowly metamorphose into a beautiful, automated vacuum review channel butterfly. Please let me know in the comments what automatic vacuums I should review next. That's a joke, please don't do that.